Hey, what's going on guys? It's me, Aiden. Welcome back to another video. Now today we've got a little bit of Miraculous Ladybug news, not as much as usual, but it is some big news. So we have two new synopsises and one new trailer. I'm going to focus on the Crocoduel stuff for now because that episode comes out in less than 24 hours tomorrow on Gloob at 7:30 p.m. Brazil time or 6:30 p.m. EST. So the synopsis for this episode is Marinette has avoided Luka at all costs since she broke up with him because she likes Adrien, but the situation is affecting her friends. They decide to help the two talk on Julika's birthday, but the plan goes wrong and two people are akumatized. So yeah, just a little bit of extra information here. Now I have seen some people a little bit confused because, I have said before that technically now Julika and Luka are twins from a tweet that Thomas had sent out. And I myself am a little bit confused. This could just be the synopsis being a little bit weird from Gloob because this was from Gloob's scheduling website and it had to be translated, and so it could just be a little bit weird. Or maybe they didn't end up switching them and Thomas's tweet is just wrong. We don't exactly know at this point, but just going based off of what Thomas had said in that tweet, it would be likely that this would just be Julika and Luka's birthday. But in case that ended up being changed last minute, then they may not be twins. So just a little bit of clear up there. All right, so that's it for Crocoduel. Just remember that comes out in Portuguese tomorrow in less than 24 hours. All right, so moving on to the Wishmaker stuff, and just as a reminder, this episode is coming out in the English dub, so that's pretty nice. On Disney Channel USA, the first Disney Channel USA official release as far as it airing first in the USA, so that's pretty nice. That is coming out on August 7th at 10:30 a.m. EST. So this Saturday. So, we are less than a week away from that episode as well. But we got the synopsis for this episode, and that reads, a supervillain comes to Paris and interrupts Marinette when she tries to think about her future. The villain can turn childhood dreams into nightmares. So this isn't like as big of a synopsis as the previous synopsis, but it does give us two big pieces of information here. One, it's Marinette trying to think about her future, and two, what the villain can do, and that is turn childhood dreams into nightmares. Now, the official Miraculous YouTube channel did release a trailer, which is weird because they usually release the trailers as Gloob releases them, but I guess this is just a new thing that they've done. I don't know. I guess they've just seen that, Wishmaker comes out in a few days. So they were like, all right, let's just get a jump on this episode. So they released their trailer. Now I will have a link to the trailer in the description below. If you have not seen it yet, definitely go check that out because I'm going to be talking about it here. So from the looks of things, there's some sort of festival of some kind going on. That's my guess. It could not be a festival, but that's sort of what it looks like. Now we see Adrien over here looking quite sad. Now some of you may be wondering why Adrien is so sad. You may think like, oh, is it because he's seeing Lukanette and he's getting jealous or whatever? And I'm here to inform you that no, that is not the reason why he is getting sad. Now, this is going to require us to take a look at the production codes of the episodes. Now, Wishmaker is episode 18 officially. 418 is the official production code. And essentially what that means is that this was supposed to be the 18th episode of Miraculous. Now, if we actually count up all the episodes that have aired so far, this is actually the 14th episode that has aired, but officially it should be the 18th episode. Now, if we take a look at what the 17th episode is, that would put us at Rocketeer. Now, it suddenly makes a lot of sense as to why Adrien is sad. Because if you remember in Rocketeer, Adrien sort of broke there because he was like, wait a minute, can we reveal identities now or something like that? And he was just sort of like, his brain was fried in that episode, so he's just trying to figure out what's going on. So this whole episode, as far as Wishmaker, is sort of a follow-up for Adrien's feelings to Rocketeer, which I think is really good because we've never seen this before in Miraculous, right? Like season 4 is the first season where we've actually seen good continuity. So I'm really happy that they've actually started incorporating previous episodes. Now, technically, this is all speculation, but I think it's valid speculation because we have seen a lot of continuity recently. So, I mean, technically, this could not be the case of why Adrien is sad. It could be some other reason, but my guess is it's from Rocketeer. Now, Luka sees that Adrien is sad, and so Luka goes ahead and plays a violin to cheer him up, which is very cool. Now, we actually did see a tweet from Thomas that said that Luka could and would play a violin at some point in season 4, and this is just the episode that happened. So we did know that this would happen at some point, so now we're just seeing it. Now it looks like the akumatized victim for this episode is Alec, which is very interesting. Now if we look back at the synopsis, we can see that this villain can turn childhood dreams into nightmares. And what that tells me is that Alec had some sort of like, the reason why he was akumatized is something to do with his childhood dream. And if we see in this promo, it looks like he's wearing a wig and he's being frustrated with it. So my guess is maybe his childhood dream was to possibly be an actor, but maybe he's being pushed here, and so that is getting annoying to him, or maybe I feel like it's something to do with his childhood dream, right? And maybe he wants to be a barber or something like that. I don't know. I was just thinking acting because it sort of looks like a big wig, something that you would wear on a stage or something like that. So I don't know. That was just my first thought, but it could be anything, but it's something probably related to his childhood past and dream, which is why his power is related to that. So just putting that out there. Now we see at some point in this trailer that Cat Noir actually gets hit with one of the missiles, which, I guess we can assume that one of his childhood memories or dreams comes to life at this point. So this could be very cool because what it could do is reveal some sort of the past that Cat Noir / Adrien has, which is good because it's learning more about Adrien, and I think we all want to learn a little bit more about Adrien here. Now I will be coming back to this point in a second, but let's move on to the fact that Viperion is going to be making an appearance in this episode, which makes a whole lot of sense because it's a Luka episode, which means that we're going to be seeing some form of Luka in this, because they don't have Luka in an episode if he's not involved in either being a hero or being the villain. It just doesn't really happen. So yeah, I think that seems to be the formula that we have here with him. Now Luka's power is very unique because it can completely erase things and go back by 5 minutes in the past. Now we can see in this shot here that Luka comes to the rescue and saves Cat Noir from this bullet. Now, obviously, this is to be expected, right? Because, it's you don't want an extra villain, and you don't want, Cat Noir to be immobilized because he's a useful asset. But now keep in mind, we did see in the first clip that he does initially get hit with it. So at that point, we can assume that, his childhood dream is turned into some sort of nightmare, right? Now, what if this nightmare is so personalized that everybody who sees it, including Shadowmoth, would figure out that Cat Noir is in fact Adrien, or at least the people closest to him, specifically Shadowmoth, and potentially Luka. Now, since Luka keeps his memory and everybody else doesn't when he goes back in time, what if Luka figures out that Cat Noir's identity is actually Adrien, right? Now, the whole episode before this, Rocketeer, was based around Cat Noir figuring out that, the identities aren't something that is as sacred as Ladybug wants people to believe, right? And essentially what making Luka learn Cat Noir's identity would do is give him somebody else to talk to about this, right? Because then he would feel less excluded from the group, because he's like, man, people are out here sharing identities and I didn't know any of this stuff. But now it's like, I've got my own secret, right? And it just feels good to have this other person that I can sort of go to talk about, right? Now, obviously, this would be a huge deal, but I think that would make sense just according to the previous episode and sort of the whole circumstance as to like why Adrien is so sad in this episode, and Luka would understand this. So I don't think it's too far of a stretch to say that Luka may figure out Cat Noir's identity, which could be very interesting. Now, obviously, this is all just speculation. It could not happen at all, but I did want to put it out there because I think, due to all of the circumstances of this episode, it could be very interesting. And, if that would happen, Shadowmoth would figure out who Cat Noir is, which would make Luka have to save Adrien even more, right? So yeah, that's just my theory, I suppose you could call it, on this episode. So I guess, we'll see on August 7th if this actually becomes a reality, because it could completely be a game changer for Adrien. Now, keep in mind, this is episode 18. We have not seen any episode after this at this point. So we don't have any episodes further of, you know, like, oh, Adrien and Luka just like chilling out talking about it, right? So we haven't seen into the future. So, you know, it's entirely possible at this point, and we're just making complete speculation here. So I don't know. I think it's a possibility. So just wanted to put it out there. But with that, that is going to come to the end of this video because I have talked about everything that I wrote down in my notes. If I missed anything, please let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
I was wrong about you and Luka, wasn't I?